All right, good afternoon, Pink Sox Nation. Welcome. This is our first training video of the spring for the Pink Sox season. I'm Coach Charles. All season long, I'm going to be doing videos like this. Softball has a lot of rules, a lot of crazy things that happen. For some of you, this is going to be a review. It's always good to have a review. These are going to be up all season so that if you have to miss a practice or if there's something you're just not quite getting, feel free to watch and rewatch these videos. That's what they're there for, okay? For some of you, this is all brand new. There's going to be a lot of information coming at you, especially the first couple of practices as we get into our first games in April. So, this is helping you get the foundation laid down. Sometimes at practice, I'll have a lesson focused on hitting. Sometimes I'll have it on throwing and catching. Sometimes it'll be a combination. You'll be working with each one of the coaches. My partner coaches, Coach Luis and Coach Jose, they'll be helping me when we break into groups and we'll all move around and then we'll all meet up at the end, put everything together. As the season goes on, there'll be more advanced lessons, teaching you how to have your footwork properly, which bases to cover in different situations and things like that, all right? This first video I'm going to put today is, getting us ready for our first practice that we're having this coming Friday night, okay? Just basic bat technique. Your basic bat's right here, all right? What you want to do when you're holding the bat is if you're a righty, like I am, all right, and you're standing there at the plate, what you want to have is, this is the nub of the bat, this circle here. Your left hand, you use your thumb as a good rule of measure right there. You want your left hand to be placed just about the thumb width above the nub, okay? If it's right against the nub like this, when the bat hits the ball and the ball hits the bat, the vibrations be a little bit uncomfortable. If you're over it like that, you see how there's a gap there? You don't have full control over the bat, all right? So you want to have just about a thumb. You take your right hand and put it right over the top, connecting, okay? That's what you do with your hands. Now, what do you do with your arms? You don't want to have your arms in too close, okay? You can't swing like this. This is like, your Tyrannosaurus Rex swinging, all right? You can't do anything with it. You don't want to have them too straight out either because then you can't generate any power. The key to hitting effectively is keeping your eye on the ball, of course, but you want to have a combination of speed and strength, speed and power, okay? And I'm going to show you how to get that. When you're standing there, you basically want to have your hands, try them first about middle of your chest and out, all right? See, when I bend forward, you'll see how it is, okay? You don't want to have them bent up like this. When you bat, you don't want to be like this. You don't want your arms to form a V, okay? When you start out, you want to start out basic like this. Try to imagine like you're trying to balance a heavy tray or a bunch of plates of food, all right? So that you don't spill any, and you're walking through like this. And then you're going to shift it just a little bit over and then just a little bit higher with the back elbow, okay? You want your back, you want the center like this, move a little bit back, then your back elbow just a little bit higher, all right? So it should look something like this when you're up there, all right? Your back elbow is going to be naturally higher because remember your right hand is on top of your left hand. Now when you swing, you don't want to do a little swing like this. You don't want to pull it into your body and go like that, and you don't want to chop down. All right, those are things you don't, because that's not going to generate the power you need. It's not going to generate the accuracy that you need. What you want is a nice level swing all the way through. Another thing to avoid is resting the bat on your shoulder or putting the bat down like this. That's going to waste time. The thing to think about is, all right, here's your softball. It's not going to come over here after it's pitched and then just stop. All right, it's not going to stay here and wait for you to hit it. The entire time your bat's moving forward, this ball is also moving this direction. So you want to try and get it to hit at the right spot. What you don't want to do is wait for it to get here and then start swinging, because then what happens? It's going over here, you swing, you're too late, you've already missed it. You don't want to swing it where the ball is. You want to swing it where the ball's about to be. You want to be able to meet it the entire way through. Because when the ball is right here and you start swinging at it, what you're really doing is you're swinging at where the ball was a couple of seconds ago. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it'll make sense, all right? You see how I'm meeting the two. I'm not waiting for the ball to get here before I start swinging, because then what happens? I either hit it on the back end or I'm too late entirely. So if your bat is resting on your shoulder like this, or it's down, that's a precious bit of time that you're wasting, because now you've got to pick that up and then go forward. You also run the risk, because the barrel of the bat, the fat part, it has the most weight, right? So if you're waiting like this and you try to swing hard, what's going to happen is the momentum, because of the weight, is going to carry you forward. And you're going to wind up doing more like a golf swing. You're going to be doing more like a slice. You're not going to be doing a level swing. You see how I am here? I'm ready. My eyes are forward. I'm only watching the ball. And my swing is level. I'm not chopping like I'm trying to get fish in the water. I'm not trying to get anything out of the air. And I'm not golf slicing it. All right? I'm just looking forward, my eye on the ball, watching it the whole way through. My head's level. I'm not ducking. You don't want to reflexively do this when you swing. Some people do that because of the weight of the bat or because they think the ball's a little bit lower. Adjust your swing. Take a couple of pitches. Watch what the pitcher is throwing you. I know you want to see that pitch in that magical zone, that Goldilocks area, where it's not too high, it's not too low, it's not too out, and not too in. It's just perfect. But realistically, you're not going to get a lot of pitches like that. So you have to adjust. But you want to adjust with the bat movement. You don't want to dip your whole body, because then what are you doing? The ball is here, and then you're dipping under it. All right? That's what you don't want to have happen. When you're swinging, you want to generate power. Like I said, you don't want to swing a little weak one like that, or it's not going to get any power. It's going to be too slow. But you also don't want to be too crazy where you can't control the bat, all right? And your eyes are closed, you're spinning around to the ground, or you don't want that. You want to keep it in control. A nice, crisp, level swing. Okay? If you do it too hard, you're going to lose balance, all right? You don't want that to happen. You want to keep your eye on it the entire time through. If you're doing it too slow, it's not generating anything. The back part of the swing is important, this whole thing. You think of it this way, all right? If I got somebody standing right here, standing right next to me, and I just give a little shove, they'll move a little bit, right? Because I just give them a little push. But if I start over here, and I get a good running start, and I push them like that, they're going to go further because of the momentum. The speed and the momentum and the force of my body is going to make my target move further away. It's the same thing with the bat. This back part, before it hits the ball, that's the equivalent of my running start to push something away. So you want to make that strong. You don't want to just stand there and do this. You could try it out yourself, and we'll do it at practice, just holding a bat still like this. If I throw the ball into it, no matter how hard I throw the ball into it, it's not going to get hit very far if you're just keeping it straight like this. But if you're swinging hard the entire time and it hits, it's going to go further, right? You want your eye to be on the ball, not on the pitcher, not where you want the ball to go. Don't worry about it. Just keep your eye on the ball, see it the entire way through, and after a while you'll get the timing down. You'll see when you need to start swinging. It depends on the pitcher. Some pitchers pitch slow, so you might have to wait a little bit longer for it to be right there for you. Some pitch really fast, so you got to pull the trigger quicker, right? You got to be a little bit faster on it. When the ball hits, as soon as you feel contact, drop your bat and run, okay? Don't throw your bat. That's against the rules, all right? If you throw the bat, they give a warning. If you throw about a second time, you're called out, all right? So you want to make sure you don't throw the bat. I know it's kind of hard. You're excited. You hit the ball. You want to run. You hit, drop, then run, okay? Always run, and run hard. Run like you're on fire and there's water at that first base for you to get out, all right? Because if you hit the ball Unless you hear me or the umpire or one of the other coaches telling you that it's foul to come back, consider it fair, all right? It doesn't matter how far the ball travels. If I hit the ball, sometimes I get just a little piece of it, and it goes maybe this far in front of home plate. You know what? That's a hit, ladies. If that ball isn't picked up and you make it to first base, you just robbed them. You just got on base, all right? So don't give anything away. Every time you feel contact, take off and run as hard as you can unless you hear us telling you to come back. Because what you don't want to have happen is the ball, you're standing there, you tip the ball, it lands just a foot in front of you, and you're standing there kind of looking at it. Because if you do that, you're going to hear us telling you to run. Then sometimes the fielders, they forget that that's a fair ball, and they're not going to do anything with it. You take off. If you're speedy enough, you can get down to first base by the time they realize that they should be picking that ball up and trying to throw it to first. If you're just standing there, not doing anything, they can just pick the ball up and go, bink, and just tag you on the arm. You just gave up an out for no reason, all right? So always run hard to first base. As soon as you hear that clink, you drop the bat, you take off to first. Worst thing that can happen is we tell you it's foul. Come back, do it again. Not a big deal. But you want to hustle out of the box because I'll tell you now, if you see this bat, you see a lot of these marks on it. This bat has had a lot of hits on it. Only one of the, I'd say about 30 plus hits that this bat has seen in the last 2 seasons, this is Anna's bat. Only one of them got hit into the outfield. Most of them were right on the infield. But Anna had the speed to leg out the hit. So she'd hit a slow roller, and the pitcher's just kind of looking at it, thinking, oh, it's not going very far. I guess it's not a hit. Meanwhile, Anna's standing on first base, just chilling, waiting there, doing her nails, ordering food, just relaxing because she's got to first base because they fell asleep on the field. All right, so you want to be able to take advantage of that. You feel that bat hit, you take off. All right. Remember, you're trying to meet it. It is not like T-ball where it's in one place. As it's coming in, you're going out to meet it. Your eye is on that ball. Okay? That's one of the big things. What we're going to do in our first practice, a lot of my old girls know this game, is a game called Pepper, and I'll explain it in practice. And it's basically choking up on the bat pretty high like this and just working on not swinging, because if you swing like this, you'll crack yourself in the ribs. Basically just trying to see, building that hand-eye coordination to get you used to seeing the bat and the ball meet one another. And then we drop down a little bit, and we do it again until we're in our regular natural position and we're doing actual swings. It'll help you build up that coordination. It'll help improve your hitting speed and your timing and all the things that you need to be successful out there at bat. All right, so remember, good batting stance. All right, you don't want to be too close in. You don't want to be not swinging with your body. It's the arms. I'm in. I'm looking at the pitch, waiting for it to come in. I'm loaded up, and there's my swing. All right, I'm not chopping. I'm not slicing. Nice and level all the way through. There'll be a video probably later today about some basic fielding positions that you want to have and some throwing techniques. And then that's it until next week. But before that, I will see you on Friday night for our first official practice. All right, so be ready to play. We're going to have some fun. We'll split up into groups. We'll take turns. And then we'll all do it with whatever time's left over. We'll put it all together and play a little game against each other. All right? Any questions in the meantime, feel free to contact me. I'll see you girls later. Be good, Pink Sox.